Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Black Church Chats. I'm your host, Pastor Isaiah Robertson. This is the podcast where we seek to define, discuss, and defend the Black Church for her future flourishing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Certainly want to get this content out. Please help us to do that. But I'm going to jump right in. I'm not going to keep you on too long, but there's something that I've been thinking about that's been causing me consternation. And I guess the way that I want to set this up is by sort of giving a scenario. Um, you have a mom, and I don't necessarily know what your relationship is like with your mom. I don't know if it's a good relationship. I don't know if it's a negative relationship, but you have a mother. And let's just say that you have a wonderful, beautiful, loving relationship with your mother. Okay? So if you don't, then in this scenario, you do. You have a wonderful, beautiful, loving relationship with your mother. However, let's say that your mother, she's accumulated some enemies along the way. For whatever reason, there are people that just don't like your mother. They don't feel fond feelings toward your mother. Now, when those people critique your mother, you already understand that their critique is going to be filtered through their lens of her, and it's going to be filtered through their personal feelings of her. Does not necessarily mean that their critiques are wrong. Does not necessarily mean that their critiques are completely off base. It just means that when her enemies critique her, when the people that don't like her critique her, then you have to take that into account as you're listening to their critique. You have to, as you're listening to their critique, understand that they're not necessarily objective observers. They may be just trying to tear your mother down. They may be just trying to cast aspersions upon her so other people think negatively of her. Doesn't mean that's always the case, but if your mother is critiqued by her enemies, by the people that don't like her, then it's probably the case that their critique is filtered through that antipathy and animosity, and you have to understand that as you're listening to the critique. On the flip side, though, you love your mother. You have a wonderful relationship with your mother. You understand that your mother is not perfect. However, you love your mother, and you generally seek the well-being of your mother. When you critique her, though the critique may be harsh, though the critique may be accurate, though the critique may be uncomfortable, when you critique her, though, your critique is coming from what? A place of love, a place of desiring to see the best in her and from her. Right? Your critique is not being leveled for the purpose of bringing scorn, shame, and ultimate disavowal of her. But your critique is you just know she can do better. You want to see her do better. You love her though, and your critique is meant to really spur her on to growth and flourishing. Why do I bring up this scenario? It's a lot of people out there right now in YouTube world and otherwise critiquing the black church. A lot of people. A lot of people have built platforms upon critiquing the black church. A lot of people. And many of them are not critiquing the black church from a place of affection, affinity, or love. Many of them are like the enemies of your mother in that scenario. And they're critiquing the black church, but they are critiquing the black church. All of that critique is being filtered through their animosity towards antipathy for the black church. For whatever reason, they just don't like the black church. For whatever reason, they're just not rocking with the black church. They are actually, they would never say this out loud. They would never say this publicly, but they are actually opposed to the black church. But they are critiquing the black church as if they are objective observers. And what people do is they listen to these podcasters and others, and they don't take into account that this critique is not objective. They don't take into account the fact that this critique is coming from a place of animosity and disdain. And they listen as though these people are experts. They listen as though these people are objective. And that is frustrating me. And to make matters worse, these people critiquing the black church from a place of disdain and antipathy are critiquing the black church to largely white audiences. Largely, overwhelmingly white audiences. And so just imagine in that scenario, your mother's enemies are critiquing your mother before people that are already sort of predisposed to misunderstanding your mother. These people already may have certain conscious or unconscious biases against your mother, and now these people are critiquing your mother to these people that are just looking for a reason to dislike your mother and malign your mother. That's what's happening. And guess what? I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it. It's not right. It's not loving. It's not charitable. But it's gonna be exposed. We're gonna talk about it. I am going to actually do reactions. I'm going to make videos where I'm going to expose the biases, and we're going to defend our mother. For those of us that come from the black church, those of us that still love the black church, we're going to defend her against those critiquing her unfairly. It's coming. All right. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, you need to subscribe, share, and like. All right. Grace and peace. We out.